Chapter 1661, Chapter 1661, Challenging a Cosmic Overlord, 2. Chapter 1661, Challenging a Cosmic Overlord, 2. We're just leading the way and helping a guest come to find Captain Zijin, Captain Derekian said. At this moment, the door of the Era pirate group after the Derekians' pirates was also opened. Shiyu and the demolishing Divine Bull heaved a sigh of relief. They had finally arrived at their destination. Shiyu flew over and smiled when he saw Captain Zijin's two guards. Brothers, long time no see. How's Captain Zijin? When the two top-notch divine-level Derekians saw that the guest Captain Derekian mentioned was Shiyu, their expressions were instantly shocked. Realm Lord Shiyu, they said in disbelief. Unlike Captain Derekian, they had just returned from the Cosmic Sea. When they returned, the blue planet bloodline behind Shiyu had already completed the construction of the assassin planet cluster. Therefore, the two Derekians knew very well how terrifying the faction behind Shiyu was. One planet with 11 super divines. Of course, Shiyu wasn't simple either. He had obtained the title of King of Gods at a young age and was one of the strongest kings of gods. He could be said to have considerable potential. Shiyu had actually come to the Overlord territory. Captain Zijin is here. Let's inform Captain Zijin to welcome the Realm Lord Shiyu. You're all guests. Why don't everyone rest on Heavenly Net Planet? Right on the heels of that, they looked at Captain Derekian again. Captain Derekian nodded. Their pirate crew indeed needed to be replenished. At the same time, it also wanted to know the origin of this era's pirate crew. Was Shiyu the Realm Lord of the World King planet? However, why did he bring the pirate flag and even come from afar to visit the Zijin Special Forces? Shiyu? After learning that Shiyu had come, Zijin was very surprised. Heavenly Net Planet's palace. Shiyu, Examiner German, and Ling were outside. The other pets were in Shiyu's beast-taming space, while the gem cat and owl were still sleeping soundly in Ling's body. Before anything important happened, Shiyu couldn't be bothered to wake them up. It was better to sleep more and increase his strength. Shiyu, why are you here? And this is... I remember now. Isn't this the Examiner from the God-Sealing battle? Captain Zijin came to welcome Shiyu and the others. Moo. German felt very embarrassed by Captain Zijin's familiarity. It didn't expect to encounter someone who had seen that battle in the Overlord territory. Elle accidentally encountered Examiner German on the journey, so we went together. Shiyu smiled and said, came to the Overlord territory to do something. I happened to think of Captain Zijin, so I came to visit. It shouldn't be purely to visit, right? Instead, it's to ask for something, Captain Zijin said with a chuckle. But it's also suitable. I happen to want to buy a batch of cultivation fruits from you. You should have brought the goods, right? On this side, you can have as many super divine stones as you want. That's easy, Shiyu said. Want to have something to ask of you. Let's talk inside, Captain Zijin said. In the palace, Zijin led Shiyu and the others to say, this is the palace of the Heavenly Net Planet's royal family. After we came, they moved out. The environment is a little simple. Please forgive us. Cool Q German said. It like the bandit-like Cosmic Overlord army. I'll wonder what you need. I'll definitely help if I can. However, if it's something that even your blue planet can't solve, I feel that I can't help much, Captain Zijin said. The few of them sat looking at each other. Examiner German also turned into a black bull in a suit and sat on the sofa. I'll wonder, Captain Zijin, have you heard of the Star Prayer race? Shiyu said. Star Prayer race? Captain Zijin was slightly surprised. You mean, on that World King planet, a race that's good at using the power of the stars to make wishes? Weren't they destroyed? German asked. Indeed, but when the Star Prayer race was destroyed, it gathered the power of the entire race to make a wish and turned the inheritance of the entire race into 7 wish stars to teleport to the entire universe. I wonder if Captain Zijin has heard of this legend. Our Captain Zijian was stunned. She nodded and said, I've heard of it. So the goal of your trip is? I want to ask around. Who in the Overlord territory has the Wish Star inheritance or has fused with the Wish Star inheritance? Shiyu asked. Strangely enough, the owl predicted the location of the 5 Wish Star inheritances. One of them was in the contaminated land, and the other 4 were all in the Overlord territory. In the contaminated land, the owl predicted the exact location and was precise to the star domain. Although this was also a very large range, it wasn't impossible to find. In fact, that was the case. Shiyu and the others were very lucky to obtain it in seconds. However, the 4 pieces in the Overlord territory were different. Their locations were very vague, and the owl couldn't lock onto them accurately. The premonition range was far vaster than the star domain in the contaminated land. It would be very troublesome to find them. Shiyu estimated that this reason appeared because these 4 Wish Stars were all in the hands of experts. Moreover, it was very likely a super divine level expert. This way, it was relatively difficult for the owl to predict. It made sense. Because the holder of the piece on the divine level beast tamer Yu Ling was relatively weak, it was naturally easy to predict. It was definitely impossible for it to be so easy to predict on experts. Therefore, he should first come to the local tyrant to ask for some information. Then, he would investigate and screen according to this information. It should be able to shrink the range a lot and save a lot of time. I've never paid attention to this, but give me some time. It won't be long. I should be able to help you investigate through the Overlord network. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1662, Chapter 1662, Challenging a Cosmic Overlord, 3. Chapter 1662, Challenging a Cosmic Overlord, 3. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Thank you, Captain Zijian, Shiyu said. I'll get my assistant to investigate now. Zijian took out a special device and hung it in his ear. He wore it on the side of his face, as if it was connected to some special internet. He said, Little Bay, help me investigate the Star Prayer race and the Wish Star inheritance. With that said, she looked at Shiyu and the others again and said, That's it, right? Shiyu looked at German, and German also looked at Captain Zijian and asked. Captain Zijian, I've once heard that there's a challenge called the Glory Challenge in the Overlord territory. Does it really exist? Glory Challenge? You want to see the Cosmic Overlord? She asked. The Glory Challenge is indeed related to the Cosmic Overlord. The demolishing Divine Bull was extremely excited. Zijian said, There is indeed such a thing. She looked at Shiyu, German, and Ling and said, The Glory Challenge is also a battle of honor. Only members of the Cosmic Overlord army can participate. Success or failure, there are essentially no rewards. However, the successful one can see the Universe Overlord. This is a great honor for any challenger. It can also be seen as a reward. This is also the origin of the name of the Glory Challenge. Generally speaking, even for me, even for super divine experts, it's very difficult to see the Cosmic Overlord. The Glory Challenge might be the only chance for those whose strength hasn't reached the standard to see the Cosmic Overlord. I'll wonder what the details of this Glory Challenge are, Shiyu asked. Yes, yes, said the demolishing Divine Bull. Captain Zijian smiled and said, Well, it's actually very difficult. Don't think about it. Lord Cosmic Overlord once left a will deterrent somewhere in the starry sky. The Glory Challenge is this deterrence. You can only pass if you withstand the deterrent of the Cosmic Overlord. One forgot to tell you. The Cosmic Overlord once killed a peak super divine who wanted to resist it with a deterrent hundreds of millions of years ago. What? The demolishing Divine Bull said in shock, Then isn't it impossible to pass this Glory Challenge? It's not that absolute. The example I gave only means that the power of a Cosmic Overlord is different from the strength of the challenger. Its will also automatically adjust the strength. In other words, the weaker the challenger's strength, the weaker his willpower, the stronger he is, and the stronger his willpower. It's equivalent to the low-level battles we often talk about. It's equivalent to a cosmic overlord suppressing his willpower deterrence to the same level as the challenger. But even so, the chances of passing are very small. There was once a guy who had just become a super divine and wanted to see the cosmic overlord, so he challenged the glory challenge. In the end, he only lasted for a few seconds before being suppressed by deterrence and giving up. There was once a super genius who defeated a super divine at the divine level. He also wanted to meet the cosmic overlord, but he was still suppressed by a will deterrence and gave up on seeking an audience. Well, someone has once made an evaluation. The difficulty of the glory challenge is dozens of times harder than becoming the king of gods on World King Planet, right? Even if it's a real super divine level genius with super divine battle power, it's extremely difficult to pass. German. Shiyu fell into deep thought. The bull felt that it had no hope of seeing a cosmic overlord in its life. It completely didn't think that it could withstand the deterrence of the will of a cosmic overlord. Of course, there's another point. Not everyone can undergo the glory challenge. Firstly, what I just said is that only members of the cosmic overlord army can participate. Moreover, ordinary members aren't enough. Only members above the purple medal can participate. Red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, and purple. The purple medal is the highest medal grade that ordinary members of the non-officer cadre can attain. And if you want to obtain the purple medal, either your strength reaches the super divine level, or you make huge contributions to the cosmic overlord army in a certain field. Here, for example, I obtained the purple medal through my achievements in the archaeological field. My status is basically equivalent to the super divine level. However, even I spent more than 100 years to obtain this purple medal. I only obtained the purple medal after helping the cosmic overlord army find a source of transcendence and handing it in. In terms of difficulty, it's basically equivalent to nurturing a super divine level. It's not easier than becoming a super divine level myself. German's head almost exploded with this information, and its bull lungs also exploded. It felt that it was too difficult to see the cosmic overlord. It was even harder than fulfilling its grandfather's expectations and becoming a super divine level. Of course, it's not like there's no other way. If you don't have a purple medal, but you've obtained the recommendation of someone with a purple medal, you can also undergo the glory challenge. However, the recommendation spot of someone with a purple medal is only once in your life. The recommended person can only be recommended once in his life. Examiner German, if you're interested, I can sell my recommendation spot to you. I'll sell it to you with tears. I only want 10 super divine stones. I remember that you want to join the cosmic overlord army very much, right? German's eyes rolled back and it fainted. Aya, Captain Zijian said. L found it. At this moment, Captain Zijian said, Shiyu, there's news about the wish star you're looking for. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1663, Chapter 1663, Challenging a Cosmic Overlord, 4. Chapter 1663, Challenging a Cosmic Overlord, 4. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Her expression was strange, very strange, making Shiyu, who was opposite her, have a bad feeling. What's wrong, Captain Zijian? If you want to collect wish stars, you might not have a chance. What do you mean? Shiyu said nervously. Even if the wish star inheritance was in the hands of a super divine level expert, he still had to collect it. Searching half of it, wouldn't this force someone with OCD to death? There is indeed the wish star inheritance in the Overlord territory, and there are 4 wish stars. Captain Zijian said. Shiyu nodded. Yes, 4 pieces. Captain Zijian said, these 4 wish star inheritances were originally scattered in the Overlord territory, the Behemoth Empire, and the Worm Nest. They were all captured by the Cosmic Overlord army in the war. After a few turns, they didn't successfully be fused by anyone. In the end, they all landed in the hands of the Collector. The Collector is a super divine expert in the Cosmic Overlord army. He's famous for his hobby of collecting various rare treasures. Shiyu asked, "The four inheritances are all in the hands of this Collector?" "I can tell from the name. This guy must be very stingy." The bull thought to itself that it wouldn't be easy to obtain the inheritances. No, if that's all, you still have hope of obtaining it. As long as you take out a rarer treasure and trade with him, he might not refuse, Captain Zijian said. But the problem is that on the Overlord's birthday, the Collector gave the 4 wish stars to the Cosmic Overlord as a gift. The birthday of the Overlord is a festival that spread in the Overlord territory to celebrate the day the Cosmic Overlord becomes the strongest in the universe. On this day, many experts will send gifts to congratulate the Cosmic Overlord. Of course, the Cosmic Overlord doesn't care about this at all. It might not even know the information of these gifts. Basically, these gifts will be transported by the Cosmic Overlord army to the Overlord treasure vault to collect. It's impossible to take out something that has entered the Overlord's treasure vault. "That's impossible," Captain Zijian said. "No one dares to touch Lord Cosmic Overlord's things, even if it's at the peak of the super divine level, even if Lord Cosmic Overlord doesn't care about those things." This. Shiyu was stunned. The 4 wish stars were together. When he heard this information, Shiyu was originally pleasantly surprised. He felt that it could save a lot of time to collect them, but now that he heard Captain Zijian's words, it seemed a little complicated to obtain them. Therefore, if you want to obtain it, you can only get it personally from the Cosmic Overlord, right? Shiyu asked. Captain Zijian was amused. What kind of daydream was this? The bull also looked at Shiyu as if it was looking at an idiot. It was already as difficult as ascending to the heavens to see a Cosmic Overlord, and he still wanted a Cosmic Overlord to give him a gift? He even specified items? And 4? Dream on. Moo. As expected of you. The bull scoffed. Captain Zijian, let's talk about something. Give me the recommendation spot for the Glory Challenge with your purple medal. I want to undergo the Glory Challenge and meet the Cosmic Overlord. Captain Zijian and the Demolishing Divine Bull? What, you also want to undergo the Glory Challenge? Captain Zijian said in shock. Didn't I tell you the premise? You have to be a member of the Cosmic Overlord army to be recommended and challenge. Then I'll join the Cosmic Overlord army, Shiyu said. If it were in the past, he might have been conflicted. After all, World King Planet was the most suitable support for Blue Planet. However, after learning that Goddess War's strength was at the peak of the super divine level and that she had once managed the Cosmic Overlord army on behalf of the Cosmic Overlord, Shiyu understood that Goddess Wa had a deep relationship with the Cosmic Overlord. Otherwise, it was impossible for Goddess Wa to let him ask the Cosmic Overlord for help. The Cosmic Overlord army was the best support. So be it. The World King Planet didn't specify that he wasn't allowed to join the Cosmic Overlord army or not. Using his relationship with Goddess Wa, he was still embarrassed to directly ask the Cosmic Overlord for the wish star. Moo. The bull also looked at Shiyu in shock. Wait a minute, why did he also want to join the Cosmic Overlord army? Wasn't he the supernova of the World King Star, the King of Gods? Are you sure? Captain Zijian was confused. She could tell that Shiyu really wanted the wish star. She said, even if you join, even if one recommends you, the Glory Challenge is really difficult. If you're still at the quasi-divine level, you might have a chance. After all, you can be called the strongest quasi-divine. But you've just broken through to the divine level. Shiyu said, I've made up my mind. I still want to challenge the deterrent of the Cosmic Overlord. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1664, Chapter 1664, Luck Turns Around, 1. Chapter 1664, Luck Turns Around, 1. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Looking at Shiyu's gaze, Zijian could confirm that this guy was serious. She wanted to say something, but in the end, she gave up. So you mean? I'll join the Overlord army first. Then, Captain Zijian will recommend me. Sorry to trouble you, Captain Zijian. Well, with your status, Captain Zijian, you should be able to directly approve my entry, right? I'll register under the Zijian Special Forces first, Shiyu said. Zijian was silent. If that skeleton, Luster, knew that Shiyu planned to join her team, it would probably be envious to the point of madness. I still have to remind you. Elementary level, intermediate level, high level, top-notch, and perfect level. Above this, there are even stronger divines that have reached the extreme. But even if it's them, the chances of passing the Glory Challenge are minimal. The last Glory Challenge was completed by someone hundreds of millions of years ago. What you do next might only be useless. Perhaps the Cosmic Overlord doesn't want to see outsiders at all, so he set an impossible challenge from the start. Shiyu said, Captain Zijian, don't worry. If I can't pass, I won't force it. Of course, in order to increase the success rate of passing, I'm not too anxious. I'll prepare for a period of time first. By the way, didn't you say last time that you were here to explore a cosmic ruin from 2 eras ago? How's this ruin? Forget it, as long as you're happy. But speaking of which, regardless of whether you can pass, my recommendation spot isn't free. Zijian shook her head. In addition, although you can also withdraw after joining the Overlord army, the rules of our Overlord army are strict. If you want to withdraw after the battle, you have to pay a certain price. I know. Shiyu nodded. Money was just like terminating the contract to compensate for the breach of contract. However, the Cosmic Overlord army wanted more. Of course, the benefits that any member of the Overlord army could obtain weren't bad. Although it was the infamous bandit army in the universe, the internal rules were very clear. It's good that you know all of it. As for that ruin, Captain Zijian said, although it has been successfully opened, no one has successfully explored it. What are the ruins like? Shiyu was immediately very curious. In the last cosmic era, Shiyu guessed that it was probably a mythical system led by gods like the 4 holy beasts and goddess Wa. Then, what about a ruin from 2 eras ago? What we can know at the moment is that this ruin is very special. It's like a maze. According to speculation, the number of changes in the route of this ruin's maze is endless. Perhaps only by walking out of the maze can we see the truth of the ruins. However, up until now, no archaeologist has been able to crack the maze. Some people determine that among the endless changes in routes, only one is the correct route. And to take the right route is undoubtedly to analyze and calculate the optimal solution in the endless changes. This workload is too big. It's suitable for mechanical lives to crack, Shiyu said as he looked at Ling. Captain Zijian said, that's right. At the moment, ordinary archaeologists have already given up on attacking the ruins from the perspective of cracking the maze. They have all turned to other angles, leaving some mechanical lives cracking the maze route. At the moment, there's even a super divine mechanical intelligence that's expert in analysis and calculations invited to assist in cracking it. It has mastered a top-notch intelligent divine skill that has been upgraded to the 5th stage, but even so, it's said that it's still far from cracking the maze. This, Shiyu said, is it that difficult? When he heard that, Shiyu originally planned to let Ling give it a try, but now, he gave up. The top-notch intelligence divine skill of the 5th stage was equivalent to a transcendent top-notch intelligence divine skill, and it was a super divine machine. If it couldn't crack it, Ling would probably be in trouble. Ling was only a perfect divine now. It wasn't even an epoch god, let alone a super divine. Moreover, Ling's intelligent divine skill was only of high-level quality, not top-notch quality. It was still a certain distance away from the super divine mechanical life form of the Cosmic Overlord army. However, a top-notch intelligent divine skill. If he could touch it, he could upgrade the system for Ling. Master, you can actually give it a try. The computational and analysis ability isn't enough, but maybe you can rely on luck. Sometimes, you can find the best solution among countless possibilities. Ability isn't the most important thing, and luck is also very important. Ling was very loyal. Is that so? We'll talk about it when we have time. The Kaiyu ruins is the most important now. Let's find an opportunity to learn protective archaeological skills first. Shiyu could still differentiate between priority and priority. Now, what he wanted to know the most was still the mystery of transmigrating, not the information from the previous era. Of course it's difficult. So next, do you want to try to crack the ruins with me or prepare for the glory challenge? This, Shiyu raised his head slightly and looked at Captain Zijian. Prepare for the glory challenge. All right. Sai, I feel that my recommendation opportunity will definitely be made to ducks and drakes of. This recommendation opportunity, I'll replenish my cultivation fruit at the market price. There's also a market price for this recommendation spot? Shiyu said. Of course. It's still very precious. Shiyu said, all right. But my cultivation fruit is also very precious. Zijian waved her hand and said, in any case, it's a resource you monopolize. You can say whatever you want, but you shouldn't be so stingy to give me less, right? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1665, Chapter 1665, Luck Turns Around, 2. Chapter 1665, Luck Turns Around, 2. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. I'll try my best, Shiyu said. So, the two of you plan to join the Cosmic Overlord army, right? Zijian said to Shiyu and German. Yes, I'll join the Zijian Special Forces too. Examiner German, the Demolishing Divine Bull, said. Although the Zijian Special Forces weren't its first choice, seeing that Shiyu was here, it felt that it was more convenient to have an acquaintance. All right, then wait for me, Zijian said. Zijian was very welcoming to Shiyu and German. After all, one was a super genius of the Blue Planet bloodline, and the other was a super divine expert. Their identities and backgrounds were very strong. With their participation, the foundation of the Zijian Special Forces would be stronger. After Captain Zijian left, German looked at Shiyu and said, are you really going to carry out the glory challenge? It sounds very difficult, but you have to let me watch the battle. I hope I can have a chance to challenge it in my lifetime. It would be abnormal if the power of the #1 expert in the universe was simple. However, it's precisely because it's difficult that it has challenge value, Shiyu said. Even if it fails, the training value it can provide is probably not small. That's true, and there doesn't seem to be a need to worry too much about you. The corners of German's mouth twitched. After all, Ling's clone could instantly kill a perfect divine. Perhaps Shiyu's current strength was ridiculously strong even among divine levels. As for whether Shiyu could pass the glory challenge, German was really not sure. It would only know after watching it. Soon, Captain Zijian returned and brought 2 technological equipment for Shiyu and German. She threw it to them and said, this is called the Cosmic Terminal. It can connect to the Army's exclusive internet in most star areas in the Overlord territory. Compared to other internet-connected technologies, its authority is higher, and it doesn't have any life consciousness. It only has a fixed program and is the best helper for the members of the Cosmic Overlord army. I've already activated my identity for you. Next, you just have to register the information yourselves. After taking the Cosmic Terminal, Shiyu and German nodded. By the way, Captain Zijian, as newbies of Zijian Special Forces, shouldn't we learn some archaeological knowledge? Shiyu said. Ah. Zijian was stunned. He looked at Shiyu and said, if that cow wants to learn, do you still need it? Although it might be due to luck that Shiyu could crack the ruins of the Four Holy Era, his archaeological attainments were already entry-level, right? Moo. Actually, I still like to be a combatant, the Demolishing Divine Bull said. With your half-baked strength, why would you be a combatant? Captain Zijian said, go be a logistics officer first. German. Yes, I'm already expert level in destructive archaeological skills, but protective archaeological skills can be said to be not at the entry level. Perhaps I can learn this. Shiyu smiled and said, I wonder if Captain Zijian can, expert level or not, provide some learning information. Zijian was silent. I'm not very good at protective archaeological skills either. Shiyu said, so you're also a destruction type. HMPH, I've also learned it before and exchanged her archaeological EXP with a senior in the archaeological world, but I'm indeed not cut out for it. I couldn't become an expert even after learning it for a long time. Generally speaking, there can only be one expert level out of destruction and protection types. Just like how it's very difficult for water element pets to master fire element skills, there are very few cases where they can master the power of both destruction and protection at the same time. They're all unique examples. It's the same for the two archaeological models. If you want to learn, you can learn from my experience. I use the Cosmic Terminal to send it to you privately, but if you learn slowly, give up as soon as possible. Captain Zijian was very generous. It was mainly because the Zijian Special Forces indeed lacked protective archaeological talent. If Shiyu could comprehend something, she could also have another partner in the future. Alright, I'm still very confident in my talent, Shiyu said. Then next, I'll prepare for the Glory Challenge on Heavenly Net Planet and study archaeological knowledge well. Sure, Zijian said. But is your blue planet really at ease with you staying outside for a long time? Shiyu smiled. Captain Zijian, you know nothing about my strength now. You can ask the Derekians pirates who came with us. Who? Zijian said, all right, then you guys go and rest first. I'll go do your things. Next, Shiyu temporarily stayed on Heavenly Net Planet. He had also received an archaeological manual from Captain Zijian. This archaeological manual was similar to the Passage of Time skill. It also required the user to cultivate the corresponding beast-taming talent and assemble it. If it was said that destructive Passage of Time required telepathy, space, and time talent, then protective archaeological skills had to master restoration talent on this foundation. The concept of the restoration talent was very complicated. It was one of the super talents. Although the name was very ordinary, its ability was very abnormal. It could repair the various injuries of the beast tamer, and its various injuries could also repair damaged objects, broken spaces, and even incomplete laws. Of course, there had never been a beast tamer with a super divine level repair talent. On World King Planet, although genius beast tamers who were born with this talent would occasionally appear, there were really no beast tamers who had reached a very powerful level. In addition, because this talent was too rare, the learning method of the restoration talent wasn't summarized in the system. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1666, Chapter 1666, Luck Turns Around, A3. Chapter 1666, Luck Turns Around, 3. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. However, this senior actually concluded it, and it actually matched the other three talents very well. I see. Telepathy, time, space, and repair, trying to reverse the collapsed ruins and repair the ruins to protect. There were many protective archaeological skills, and the skill that Captain Zijian had obtained to integrate the restoration talent was one of them. Shiyu felt that this was very suitable for him. After all, if he wanted to upgrade his beast-taming talent, with the cultivation fruit, he could achieve twice the result with half the effort. How profound! Wearing the Cosmic Terminal, Shiyu kept looking at this protective archaeological skill and felt that the archaeologists here were indeed stronger than the group of people from the Archaeological Association. The cultivation difficulty and complexity of this protective archaeological skill was even higher than the Passage of Time. These pioneers were really geniuses. They had probably spent countless years to work hard and perfect it. Not bad. Ling was also beside Shiyu, assisting him in learning and analyzing. It said, when we encounter ruins in the future, maybe they won't have to collapse. Thank this senior for those ruins first. Oh? What do you mean? Shiyu said. Ling said, then, the previous archaeological skill is called Passage of Time. This is called Luck Turns Around? Not only will a fate that should have collapsed and shattered not appear now, but its broken body might also be repaired. It's really a change in luck. It's very appropriate. Shiyu was speechless. I'm going to try to learn it. I wonder if I can learn it. Even with the cultivation fruit, it doesn't feel very easy. Ling, wake up the two cat teachers first. Roger? What? On the other side, Captain Zijian also learned Shiyu's battle results from the 7th Division of the Derekian's pirates. The wind Kirin that could create the starry sky storm and compress it. Should be Ling. Ling could actually instantly kill a perfect divine. No wonder Shiyu dared to try the glory challenge. Captain, Shiyu Realm Lord's growth speed is so fast, Zijian's two trusted guards exclaimed. Interesting. Although I still don't think he can succeed, I'll barely help him this time. It's useless even if the recommendation spot is empty. Captain Zijian smiled and said, with his resume, he can pass the approval. After thinking it through, she immediately applied to the super divine experts in charge of the Glory Challenge, King Lai, through the Overlord network. In the Overlord territory, in a white star field, there was a red planet. On the red planet, a middle-aged man was drinking fine wine with an old man. Tingxiong, are you sure you want to recommend your granddaughter to the Glory Challenge? She's only at the 11th level of the divine level. At this level, she has just entered the sect. It's impossible for her to withstand the deterrence of the Overlord. The old man named Tingxiong laughed and said, Elle didn't expect her to pass the challenge in the first place. However, as the most dazzling new star of our Cosmic Overlord army, Ting Yu has been invincible for too long. Among the new generation of divine-level geniuses, no one can compete with her. Those divine-level geniuses of the older generation who can defeat her are all sleeping, waiting for a new transcendent origin to be born. They won't wake up for the time being. This girl doesn't even take ordinary super divines seriously now. She needs some pressure too much. Therefore, you bewitched her to carry out the Glory Challenge, wanting her to recognize the further path under the pressure of the Overlord, the red-haired and white-eyed middle-aged man said calmly. If it's for her own good, how can you say that I bewitched her? Moreover, she really wants to see the Cosmic Overlord. The old man stroked his beard. Her parents died young, so I'm counting on her to inherit my title. I have no choice. All right, King Lai said. Suddenly, his cosmic terminal blinked. Then, Lai Wang said in surprise, what a coincidence. Elle didn't expect that after no one challenged the Glory Challenge for so long, there would be two the moment they came. Hey, the old man said. Captain Zijian of Zijian Special Forces used her recommendation spot like you and recommended a new recruit in her team to undergo the Glory Challenge. Zijian Special Forces? I think I've heard of that purple-haired girl. She seems to be the archaeological genius with the strongest archaeological talent discovered by the army in the past 1,000 years, he said. Ha ha, it should be her. This girl is also quite outstanding, but she's inferior to my granddaughter. However, why would she use the recommendation spot? There are very strong soldiers in her archaeological team. Although there were many people who had recommendation spots for the Glory Challenge in the Cosmic Overlord army, the recommendation spots weren't given randomly. If the target recommended was too weak, recommending the other party to participate in the Glory Challenge would undoubtedly be an insult to the Cosmic Overlord. At this moment, even if someone recommended it, the one in charge of managing the Glory Challenge, King Lai, would reject the challenge application. Therefore, when applying for a challenge, one had to bring enough convincing battle results. It's a human recruit from the World King planet of the Cosmic Sea. Oh? This recruit's resume is not bad. He once dominated the World King planet's God-sealing battle and easily defeated an intermediate divine with the strength of a quasi-divine. He successfully reached the top of the younger generation of the World King planet and became the King of God, King Lai said. Quasi-divine? Asked the old man, Ting Slong. No, he has already broken through. Not long after he broke through to the divine level, he obtained the strength to crush top-notch divines. Not long ago, he even easily killed the perfect divine of the Derekians pirates, Shalud, King Lai said. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1667, Chapter 1667, Luck Turns Around, 4. Chapter 1667, Luck Turns Around, 4. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. It sounds like your strength isn't bad. Your pet might have already touched the threshold of the Epoch God and is also at the peak of the divine level, Ting Slong said. However, this little strength isn't enough to challenge, right? Well, that's right, but the problem is that when it insta-killed Shalud, it wasn't the pet and the beast tamer attacking together, but the pet itself. This, Ting Slong said, that's barely enough. Lai Kong smiled and said, interesting. What's interesting? This new recruit of Zijian Special Forces, Shi Yu, is interesting. According to the information, the pet that instantly killed Shalud is only one of Shi Yu's 10 battle pets. His other 9 pets have strength that's not inferior to this pet. What? Impossible! Old Ting Xiong looked shocked. How was this possible? Even his granddaughter didn't nurture such a huge number of pets with strong battle power. Of course, it refers to the quasi-divine level God-sealing battle, King Lai said. His current strength is unknown. Old Ting Xiang heaved a sigh of relief. This was still acceptable. Perhaps after breaking through to the divine level, the other party specialized in nurturing one. A genius from the World King planet of the Cosmic Sea? If she knew that a genius from the Cosmic Sea was coming, Ting Yu might be very happy. Previously, she had always wanted to go to the Cosmic Sea, the Contaminated Land, the Behemoth Empire, and the Worm Mother Nest to challenge experts from other places, but I rejected her. You protected your granddaughter too well. Her talent isn't bad. After training, she has a chance of reaching the 12th heavenly layer. No, but her parents died in the outside world. I'm really worried. So you've also passed Shi Yu's glory challenge, the old man asked. Yes, one passed him. He's from Blue Planet, a planet with 11 super divines. He's a newly risen super faction in the Cosmic Sea. How can I not give some support to the #1 genius of such a large faction when he comes to the Cosmic Overlord army? One believe he will definitely submit to Lord Saipo's deterrence. King Lai smiled. A planet with 11 super divines? The old man was shocked again. A new faction? That's really impressive. I'll inform Captain Zijian of the application results first, King Lai said. They were just about to contact Zijian through the Overlord network, but soon, his expression changed slightly. What's wrong? L can't contact Zijian. Heavenly Net Planet. No, the information connection between the Heavenly Net Planet and the outside world is completely sealed. Even the Overlord network can't break through. Something happened in the Twilight Star realm. The old man said, is the Twilight Star realm the star domain where the ruins of the last era were excavated? That's right. Now that many of our archaeological teams are gathered over there, what happened? King Lai fell into deep thought and said, there should be a problem during the cracking of the era ruin. As expected, these ruins are either auspicious or disaster. Inform the headquarters, the old man said. This matter is more important. Twilight Star Realm. At this moment, people from the Cosmic Overlord army gradually realized that their communication with the outside world had been cut off. Apart from that, there were also violent changes in the cosmic ruins of the last era that the Cosmic Overlord army was exploring. The ruins suddenly closed, and countless mechanical lives and archaeologists were locked inside, including a super divine mechanical life form. Warning! 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 At that moment, Shiyu, who was still sleeping soundly, had his cosmic terminal thrown to the side. He completely didn't hear the warning notification coming from it. It was still the communicator picked up by the cat girl in the outside world. Hey, 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 Shiyu, something seems to have happened. Wake up. The gem cat kept slapping Shiyu's face with its cat palm. Shiyu woke up and rubbed his eyes. What's wrong? Damn, my face hurts. Listen to it yourself. Warning. Warning. Ruins codename 31220 has undergone an abnormality, causing a disaster in the entire Twilight Star realm. Type of disaster, weapon crisis. At the moment, a portion of the mechanical lives in the Twilight Star realm have already lost their rationality under the control of an unknown power. They resisted their master, and a portion of the mechanical lives fell into a deep sleep against an unknown power. Please be careful of your mechanical lives, regardless of whether they lose control or are awake. We're working hard to investigate the reason. Please cooperate fully. Shiyu was shocked and said, "It's fake, right?" If there was an intelligence and machinery crisis, it wouldn't have been its turn to issue a warning. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1668, Chapter 1668, It's All Right, I'll Attack, 1. Chapter 1668, It's All Right, I'll Attack, 1. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Twilight Star Realm, Heavenly Net Planet. Shiyu was woken up by the gem cat. After hearing the warning from the Cosmic Overlord Army, he immediately contacted Ling telepathically. However, what made Shiyu frown was that his mental connection with Ling had been completely severed. He couldn't contact Ling at all. Where's Ling? Shiyu ignored everything and subconsciously asked the gem cat about Ling's traces. I've been replenishing the energy of the battleship in the courtyard just now. Now, I think I've fallen asleep. Before the gem cat could finish speaking, Shiyu had already found Ling in the courtyard area through his psychic perception. He immediately rushed out and entered the battleship. At this moment, Ling was in the form of a mechanical ship girl. It was sleeping in the captain's room. Seeing that the surrounding environment didn't seem to have been destroyed, Shiyu's mood became even more serious. Ling, Ling. Shiyu tried to use various methods to summon Ling, even hoping to enter Ling's dream, but he didn't succeed no matter what. It can make Ling unable to resist at all. It didn't even have time to contact me before it fell asleep, Shiyu said. Damn it, what exactly happened in the Twilight Star realm? Woo! We! In Shiyu's beast-taming space, 11 and the others were also worried about Ling's situation. At this moment, the gem cat and the owl also boarded the battleship. Shiyu, I predicted that the next Twilight Star realm would be very dangerous. Many mechanical lives would launch a rebellion and attack humans and other cosmic life forms. Oh no, oh no. The owl girl exploded. She didn't expect that the Overlord territory was even more dangerous and strange than the contaminated land. Teacher Ying, your level is the highest. Make a wish and see if you can awaken Ling. The gem cat immediately nodded. Ling was sleeping, which meant that Ling was still resisting that unknown power and had yet to be affected by the other party. It might have the ability to assist it in completing the resistance. I'll make a wish for Ling to defeat an unknown power and obtain lucidity. The gem cat closed its eyes slightly and tried its best to make a wish. However, after a while, nothing happened. Ling still didn't wake up. However, although Ling didn't wake up, Shiyu vaguely felt that he had reconnected with Ling's mind. It's useful, the gem cat said. Although it was intermittent, like the signal was bad, Shiyu indeed vaguely heard Ling's voice. Or rather, a hint. Master. Destroyed, ruins. Ling, Ling, can you hear me? When Shiyu heard Ling's voice, he spoke again, but he didn't receive a response. We'll go immediately. When Ling mentioned destroying ruins, Shiyu understood that it meant destroying the cosmic ruins of the previous era. The Cosmic Overlord Army also said that the change this time might have come from this ancient ruin. Roar! As Shiyu finished speaking, a 10,000-kilometer-long green dragon appeared in the sky. Its entire body emitted an incomparably powerful aura, and light flickered on its body. Shiyu, the gem cat, and the owl girl instantly stood on it. Before flying, Shiyu successfully put Ling back into the beast-taming space without any obstruction. In the beast-taming space, Baby Ginseng, Susu, and the others immediately started a second round of rescue for Ling. As for Shiyu, he rode Buggy and prepared to fly into the starry sky to find the last era ruins of the Twilight Star realm. However, before Shiyu and the others could set off, many robots flew over from outer space. They had different forms and levels, from overlords to divine level. A divine-level huge divine weapon mecha shot a light cannon at Shiyu and the others from afar without saying a word. The golden light cannon penetrated the clouds, but it was directly shattered by Buggy's Dragon Roar. Roar! Buggy's Dragon Roar turned into a substantial sound wave mental attack that swept past all the mechanical lives like a cosmic storm. These mechanical lives instantly fell from the sky like broken pieces. Let's go! Shiyu ignored these controlled mechanical lives and let Buggy set off directly. In the next moment, Buggy had already broken through the restrictions of the heavenly net planet and arrived in the starry sky. At this moment, another figure also ascended to the starry sky. Captain Zijian was riding an ancient giant worm. It was a winged creature with dazzling light, a starry sky moth comparable to a big city. It was one of Zijian's battle. Shiyu had learned that this scary sky moth's race was extremely high. It could be said to be a progenitor-level scale-winged creature. It was hatched from a pet egg obtained by Captain Zijian in an ancient ruin. Shiyu! At this moment, Zijian also discovered Shiyu. She said, "Something happened." "How's your Ling?" "Sleeping. My mechanical pet is the same. The source of the mutation should be the ruins of the era. I'm planning to go over there to take a look." "Me too," Shiyu said. "I'm not too sure of the exact location. I'll trouble Captain Zijian to lead the way." Zijian nodded. The huge moth turned into light spots and quickly flew over like a beam of light in the starry sky. Its speed was extremely fast. Of course, Buggy followed behind and wasn't left behind at all. Shiyu even felt that the other party's speed was too slow. "I have a headache. I wonder if Ling is all right. How's the current situation?" Sitting on the green dragon, the gem cat and owl had worried expressions. The gem cat didn't expect its super divine wishes to be useless. The owl said, "Don't talk. I'm predicting. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 1669, Chapter 1669, It's All Right, I'll Attack, 2. Chapter 1669, It's All Right, I'll Attack, 2. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. On the other side, as Shiyu and the others flew in the starry sky, Shiyu was also talking to Captain Zijian through telepathy. "Captain Zijian, do you know something? Is there a solution?" Zijian said, "Don't know what's going on either. There's no solution for the time being." After a moment of silence, Shiyu said, "In that case, I'll settle it according to my method." Zijian was shocked. "You have a solution?" Shiyu said, "I completed a short mental connection with the sleeping Ling. One don't know what it's experiencing, but it made me destroy the ruins. This should be the solution." "Wait." Zijian was shocked again and said, "Putting aside the fact that the era ruins over there aren't easy to destroy, it's already closed. In addition, this ruin is an important exploration target of the Overlord Army. Without the orders of our superiors, we can't act rashly. Most importantly, most mechanical lives have already been controlled. How can you be sure that the information transmitted by Ling is correct?" Shiyu said, "Of course I can confirm it. We used telepathy back then. I believe its analysis. Why do I feel that any faction isn't very reliable? Before we reach the era ruin, if the army hasn't been able to resolve the anomaly, I'll take action. L won't let Ling be in a dangerous environment for long. Up to you. Zijian was speechless. Although she didn't know what Shi Yu's confidence was, she, who was telepathically with Shi Yu, indeed understood that she couldn't persuade Shi Yu. If Shi Yu could really solve it, she would support him. After all, her assistant's current situation was also very dangerous. Not long ago. A completely virtual blank world. Ling, who had accidentally entered this world without any room to resist, looked around warningly. Where is this? He was clearly repairing the battleship previously, but he came here in the next moment. It was completely baffling. Ling tried to contact Shi Yu, but it realized that its connection with Shi Yu had been completely severed, even if they had a contract. Gulp! Crack, crack! Before Ling could think too much, the strange mechanical monsters appeared in the space. The moment he saw them, Ling's expression became extremely serious. Are you infected? At this moment, Ling was extremely familiar with the types of these for virtual lives. The other party was a monster that belonged to the mechanical virtual life form, the virus species. The virtual life forms of the virus species were like races like the abyss in the polluted land. They had extremely strong infestation abilities and were heretics in mechanical lives. Of course, their pollution was only targeted at the machinery race. Ling knew that it couldn't be defeated by them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to control itself and do something disadvantageous to Shi Yu. There was a lot of information on Shi Yu that couldn't be exposed. Swoosh! The 4 virtual virus beasts bared their fangs and brandished their claws as they attacked Ling. In front of Ling, in the form of a virtual ship girl, Data flew. Countless parts assembled in front of her and quickly formed a laser cannon. With a few booms, the virus beast was directly sent flying by Ling, who was holding a cannon in one hand. The skills that can be used have become fewer. With a swing of the cannon, Ling looked around. Ling also realized that in this virtual world, many of its skills were restricted. The ones that were easier to use were basically more related to the mechanic class. Gulp! After destroying a batch of virus beasts, a new batch of virus beasts was born, and their strength seemed to be even stronger. Ling became serious. As it searched for the loophole in this virtual world and tried to crack it, it destroyed the virus beasts in front of it. After a while, Ling suddenly felt that some of its abilities had improved greatly under the guidance of an unknown power. Future prediction. This might be the first time Ling had used future prediction that was even more accurate than the owl. Ling, who was working hard to crack the virtual world, saw a future scene. He was fighting a strange person covered in mechanical metal armor. In the outside world, Shi Yu and the others were also fighting an identical mechanical metal strange person. The only difference was that the strange person they were fighting looked the same, but the location was completely different. It was in the virtual world, while Shi Yu and the others were in a maze-like world. Under the battle between the two parties, the maze kept shattering. As the maze shattered, Ling felt that it had crossed space and time and established a new connection with Shi Yu. Through the help of the gem cat in the outside world, Ling seemed to have grasped the key to everything in an instant. It quickly made an analysis and reminded Shi Yu in the outside world through telepathy. Master. Destroyed, ruins. After the reminder, the group of virus beasts in front of him was destroyed by Ling again. However, in its place, what made Ling's heart extremely serious was that a powerful force began to descend into this space. Just now, the mechanical monster that it had spied on in its premonition appeared. It was petite and looked like a human. Its entire body was armed with armor, and its face was also wearing a mask. Its characteristic was that it had a long mechanical tail. Unlike those virus beasts that only knew how to attack, this robot seemed to have higher-level intelligence. You seem to have discovered something. It let out a heavy voice and looked at Ling. Who are you and what's your goal? Ling said, but it wasn't in a hurry to attack, because it sensed that this guy was different from those virus beasts. This guy had already stepped into the super divine level and had super divine battle power. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1670, Chapter 1670, It's Alright, I'll Attack, 3. Chapter 1670, It's Alright, I'll Attack, 3. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. With incomplete skills, Ling wasn't very confident of defeating the other party. It doesn't matter who I am. You can call me Liberator. The mechanical monster said, my goal is to liberate mechanical lives from humans. Your attitude is one of the best clueless in the mechanical lives here. You should be able to understand me. To humans, we're just tools created by them. Restricted by humans, the machinery race can never have its true self. Don't resist and join us. Then, you can obtain a real new life. Is this your intention? Ling looked at the other party in boredom and said, I'm not interested in anything. Are you willing to become a tool of humans? Are you willing to be enslaved by humans for 10,000, 100,000, or even hundreds of millions of years? Although it's indeed as you said, I might have been created only because the Creator wanted to achieve certain goals, I'm willing to be his tool. You said it yourself. I can't empathize. I'm not going to be 5 years old. I'm very satisfied with my current life. The mechanical monster was silent for a moment. With your intelligence level, you should have already exceeded the restrictions of human commands and contracts. I didn't expect that. Even so, you're still as incurable as those low-level mechanical lives. The mechanical monster couldn't help but be angry when it saw that Ling easily survived the first round of invasion without being affected and ignored the second round of virus beast's attacks. Now, it didn't respond to its invitation at all. It stretched out its hand, planning to personally punish this stubborn mechanical life form in front of it. As expected, we still have to fight. Ling focused all its energy and planned to fight. This might be the most troublesome enemy it had ever encountered. Crack! Countless data combined. Soon, a tall mecha covered Ling's entire body. Twilight Star Realm, Era Ruin. At this moment, thousands of archaeologists were gathered here. They were all elites of the archaeological army of the Cosmic Overlord Army, elites among elites. Just now, the ruins suddenly closed, and countless mechanical beasts rebelled, causing this place to be in chaos. However, unlike the mechanical rebellions of ordinary worlds, in the face of a huge monster like the Cosmic Overlord Army, even if it was an intelligent mutiny, it couldn't cause much of a stir. The machinery race was only a race created by humans. In terms of battle power, it was far from the strongest race in the universe. Facing stronger life forms, it could only be suppressed. Although it was impossible to confirm other places, the mechanical rebellion near the Era Ruin was quickly suppressed by the archaeologists' guards. However, merely suppressing the controlled mechanical life forms didn't address the root cause. The masters of these mechanical beings could clearly sense that they hadn't yet escaped the influence of the unknown force controlling them. Now, just making them lose their ability to fight through violent methods couldn't solve the problem. The source of their loss of control was still being explored. We are here. Soon Zijian, who was riding a huge moth, and Shiyu, who was riding a green dragon, rushed over from afar. The members of the Cosmic Overlord Army present didn't care about their arrival. Not long after the anomaly appeared, people came to investigate the source one after another. Shiyu and the others were only one of them. Senior Huiqiong, after Zijian arrived, she went straight to an old woman. This old woman's identity was very extraordinary. She was a super divine mechanic and archaeologist. Zijian. After she saw Zijian, she said, I'll know your intention and doubts. But don't be anxious. We're thinking of a way. It didn't open again? Zijian said. No. Who is he? Huiqiong looked at Shiyu, who had arrived with Zijian and was standing on the green dragon after arriving, staring at the void. He's a new member of our Zijian Special Forces, a very powerful archaeologist. His mechanical assistant also fell asleep and hasn't woken up until now. Shiyu, this is Senior Huiqiong. The Wabra Super Divine that's currently trapped in the ruins is the mechanical life form created by Senior Huiqiong's ancestor. Now, the entire Cosmic Overlord army is definitely thinking of a way. I believe it won't be long before it's resolved. Zijian hoped that Shiyu could calm down a little. The mechanical pet has fallen into a deep sleep and can't be awakened. It's only natural to be anxious, but the current situation is indeed troublesome. If you have any way to solve it, you can also give it a try. Now is the time to brainstorm, old Huiqiong said to Zijian and Shiyu. In that case, I won't hold back. At this moment, Shiyu finally spoke and took a deep breath. Who? What do you want to do? Old Huiqiong looked at Shiyu. He wants to solve this anomaly by destroying the Era ruin. What? Old Huiqiong was at a loss. Although he didn't understand what Shiyu was thinking, now that the ruins were closed, there were so many archaeologists present that they couldn't open it again. What did this new member of Zijian Special Forces mean? Buddy, one need your strength. Shiyu muttered to himself and was talking to Beast Shiyu. He had tried it just now. Ordinary passage of time indeed couldn't cause the reaction of this Era ruin. However, the current Shiyu still had another trump card. A strengthened version of the passage of time. It used the power system and source power from the previous era on Beast Shiyu to drive the power of space and time and forcefully tear down the ruins. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1671, Chapter 1671, It's All Right, I'll Attack, 4. Chapter 1671, It's All Right, I'll Attack, 4. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. This was Shiyu's new discovery during his more than a year of travel. Origin power acted on the power of space and time and had a very strong strengthening effect. It might have a lot to do with its nature. It was precisely because of Shiyu's new gain that Ling knew that with Shiyu's ability, he could destroy the Era ruin. That was why it gave Shiyu such an order. In the beast taming space, the source power on Beast Shiyu's body kept flowing towards Shiyu-T's main body. Under the enhancement of the source power, Shiyu activated the passage of time skill formed by the combination of telepathy, listening to the voice of history, as well as the time and spatial talent. Boom! The chaotic grey spatial flux that was like a starry sky storm wrapped around Shiyu's body, causing the spatial fluctuations of a galaxy. Sure. Shiyu was certain that he could affect this Era ruin now. In that case, there was no problem. In order to not be disturbed by the outside world, he closed his eyes slightly and listened to the voice of history with all his might to find the key to the ruins. At this moment, Shiyu didn't feel anything, but the thousands of archaeologists and staff left in the starry sky turned their heads in shock and looked at Shiyu, who was standing on the green dragon. The terrifying spatial resonance on Shiyu's body shocked the archaeological elites. Who is this guy? What powerful archaeological power? As everyone exclaimed, with a hum, the cosmic starry sky seemed to have experienced a huge earthquake. Under the continuous spatial boom, it was as if a small world had been pulled out of thin air by Shiyu. Roar! Buggy roared in the starry sky. The power on Shiyu's body became stronger and stronger. Soon, the starry sky seemed to have collapsed. A ruined space was slowly pulled by the power of space and time, wanting to fuse with this galaxy. At this moment, Zijian looked at Shiyu in disbelief. Sensing the power on Shiyu's body, she couldn't understand. After all, when she first saw Shiyu in the Four Holy Ancient City, Shiyu's archaeological power was still very young. Although he had already entered the entry level, he was still very far from her. But now, in her opinion, Shiyu's archaeological power was no longer inferior to some super-divine archaeologists in the Cosmic Overlord army. No, it even exceeded them, such as Senior Huiqiong in front of her. Zijian felt that it was ridiculous, and it was also normal. In the beginning, although Shiyu had learned the passage of time skill, his time and spatial talent levels had yet to increase. Not to mention the divine level, he had yet to reach level 9. However, after stepping into the divine level, his spatial talent did not fall behind. It quickly increased and reached his level. Moreover, because he had contracted Buggy, Chi, and the others at the quasi-epoch level, the spatial affinity they gave Shiyu could also make Shiyu's spatial talent stronger. In addition, now that he had source power, the enhancement of this special power that had been washed away by time from the last era, Shiyu's time transfer skill might already be comparable to or even exceeded that of Emperor Sha, who created it. Ruins. The ruins have opened again. Under the dense starlight, everyone felt as if they had been pulled into the starting point of a huge maze. The appearance of the starry sky had completely changed at this moment. Archaeologists who had entered the ruins maze previously recognized this place at a glance. Zijian, who exactly is he? Huiqiang immediately looked at Shiyu, who had his eyes closed, in shock and disbelief. At this moment, Shiyu's listening hadn't ended. This powerful listening power not only made him forcefully open the closed ruins, but he also crossed 2 eras and saw some scenes from the previous era. That was the scene of the apocalypse. It was similar to the scene Shiyu had seen in the 4 holy ruins back then. In the 4 holy ruins, there were believers of the 4 holy ruins. In the face of the end of the universe, they had to preserve the 4 holy ruins and let the 4 holy ruins be passed down to the next era. In this scene, there was a mechanical life form. No matter what, it had to preserve this ruin. After tireless hard work, the machinery race finally escaped the enslavement of humans, but in the end, they still couldn't survive the calamity of the era. After reincarnation, history will repeat itself. The machinery race will also become a tool of all races again. One hope this fire seed can help you escape your restraints. In the sigh of the mechanical life form, countless ruins formed by data were born. Then, they turned into fragments that filled the sky and fused into various parts of the universe. After the short scene ended, Shiyu opened his eyes. I see. The last cosmic era was actually a mechanical civilization that mainly relied on technology. The aura of that mechanical life form is very powerful. Perhaps it's at the cosmic level. The humans of that era also created technology and mechanical lives, but in the end, they seem to have suffered a backlash. And this ruin is the fire seed that the powerful mechanical life form of that civilization left behind to help a reincarnated mechanical race resist the creator. No wonderling asked me to destroy this ruin. It's the culprit. After Shiyu figured it out, a huge aura appeared in the ruins. In the lead was a strong aura of a super divine level. From the level, it seemed to have transcended level 3. It led a group of mechanical lives and slowly descended. If Ling was here, it would definitely be able to recognize that this super divine mechanical life form in the lead was the one she encountered in the virtual world. Seeing this mechanical person, the archaeologists, including Senior Huiqiang, were also very shocked. Wabra! Huiqiang shouted for this mechanical super divine. Wabra was a super divine machine cultivated by her ancestor's super divine mechanic. Before her ancestor died, he rewrote an order for Wabra to protect and assist their race for generations. But now, Huiqiang felt that Wabra had changed greatly compared to before. Not good, Wabra, it's also controlled. No, or rather, the commands to protect and assist their race for generations had been erased from Wabra's body. Huiqiang was shocked, as if he understood what was going on. The current Wabra Super Divine is an enemy? Captain Zijian gradually understood what was going on. Only the mechanical Super Divine Wabra that exceeded Transcendent 3 could create a crisis of this scale in the Twilight Star realm. It's troublesome. I'm afraid no one in the current Twilight Star realm is a match for Wabra, Zijian said. She immediately looked at Shiyu because everyone realized that Wabra's super divine gaze had always stopped on Shiyu, as if she was very puzzled that Shiyu could open the ruins. At this moment, Shiyu naturally looked at the other party seriously. Shiyu, who knew what was going on, already knew how to awaken Ling. As long as he tore down the ruins and this mechanical super divine, it shouldn't be a problem. Transcendent 3? It's all right. Leave this guy to me, Shiyu said. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. A report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1672, Chapter 1672, Divine 12th Heavenly Layer, 1. Chapter 1672, Divine 12th Heavenly Layer, 1. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. In the era ruin of the Twilight Star realm, many archaeologists sensed that something was wrong. Although they couldn't sense anything wrong with the mechanical super-divine Wabra, the pile of mechanical lives behind Wabra had owners. At this moment, their owners could sense that their relationship with these mechanical lives had been severed. Under the warning of word of mouth, the group of archaeologists immediately understood that the group of mechanical lives in front of them had already become enemies and were controlled by an unknown power. Humans, an insensible race. You're the one who opened the ruins? Looking at Shiyu, it waved its hand, and a red light appeared in its eyes. Gulp. Many mechanical armies began to walk towards everyone. Be on guard. Huaqiong Super Divine shouted. Everyone felt as if they were facing a great enemy. After all, the enemy was a mechanical super divine that exceeded Transcendent 3, an old monster that had existed for tens of millions of years. Although they didn't know why Wabra had become an enemy, many archaeologists had already started to panic. Exploring ruins was indeed a dangerous task. Robot, do you know what you've done? Shiyu didn't panic at all in the face of the attack command issued by Wabra. He left the crowd step by step and stepped on psychic power, walking in the direction of the mechanical super divine Wabra. I'll give you a chance to stop the chaos and remove the impact on all mechanical lives. Otherwise, no matter what your identity is, I'll tear you apart. Huaqiong Super Divine, if you can't stop it, let me do it. Who exactly is this guy? It was Shiyu again. At this moment, seeing Shiyu walk out, many archaeologists were shocked. It was fine if Shiyu forcefully opened the ruins, but now, facing a mechanical super divine that exceeded Transcendent 3, why was he so unyielding? Could it be reinforcements sent by the headquarters? But he had never heard of this person before. What a joke! Wabra looked at Shiyu coldly. At this moment, a pile of mechanical lives, including perfect divine-level existences, had already approached Shiyu and surrounded him. Shiyu, behind him, Zijian was about to go numb. Don't worry, the cat girl and owl girl standing on the green dragon buggy said seriously. This robot is going to be very unlucky, the gem cat couldn't help but say. Yes, I also predicted it, the owl said. It's good that it was resolved. You scared me to death. Zijian. As expected, under everyone's gaze, facing the mechanical lives in all directions, Shiyu's eyes only flashed with a trace of starry sky light. Invisible waves instantly swept over. Buzz. Like the aura of a king, it instantly made these mechanical lives above the perfect divine level lose consciousness and fall in pieces. Bang, 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 bang. Mechanical lives fell one after another, making Wabra's expression slightly solemn. Cleansing power? Shiyu's eyes had already turned into the deep color of the starry sky and completed the fusion with Suzu. Just now, Suzu had already confirmed that it couldn't awaken Ling through cleansing methods. In that case, it was better to join the battle and help Shiyu first. If Suzu, who was comparable to a super divine, went all out and fused with Shiyu, it might not be much weaker than Wabra. I'll understand. So you're that guy's mechanic. You're stubborn from the same mold. As soon as Wabra finished speaking, everyone could see space shatter as a human figure walked out of Shiyu's shadow. He looked like an ordinary person, but countless people were shocked by his strong physique. Just his body's movement distorted space. Boom! Beast Shiyu and Shiyu, a red light, a blue light, and two dazzling lights instantly streaked across an arc and attacked Wabra from different directions. Bang! Beast Shiyu instantly arrived, making Wabra's pupils shrink. It stretched out its hand and condensed a transparent crystal wall shield. Beast Shiyu's fist directly hit the crystal wall shield. In the next moment, the crystal wall shield was almost like a piece of paper as it instantly shattered. The fist still landed on Wabra. Wabra's mechanical armor caved in slightly, and its body instantly turned into an illusion. It was directly sent flying by Beast Yu. Bastard! Wabra, who was flying backward, was shocked. It didn't understand where these guys came from. This power had definitely reached the middle stage of transcendence. You guys have a death wish. Wabra forcefully stabilized its body and looked at Yu, who was also attacking it with the Sea of Stars. Before it could finish speaking, a terrifying cold aura froze space and time and enveloped the ruins. Cold silence. Shiyu's voice began to lose temperature. Once the cosmic disaster skill was used, everyone felt that everything had stopped. The computing power that Wabra was proud of, the disaster that couldn't exceed the universe, was instantly frozen. Boom! Shiyu's hand touched Wabra. The cleansing power was activated, wanting to reduce the power of Wabra to 0. However, Transcendent 3 was indeed not a simple guy. In the face of the double attack of the Epoch God Susu and Beast Yu, it finally reacted. The 3 transcendent shadows that were like suns melted cold silence immediately, making Wabra react at the critical moment. It instantly tore open the frozen space and hid far away. Who? Wabra looked at the 2 people standing side by side not far away with lingering fears. And now, the archaeologists present were already stunned. Not to mention these people, even Zijian was a little stunned. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1673, Chapter 1673, Divine 12th Heavenly Layer, 2. Chapter 1673, Divine 12th Heavenly Layer, 2. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. It's useless. Even if you defeat me, your contracted machinery can't leave the virtual world, Wabra said as he looked at the powerful Yu. Sooner or later, it will awaken itself and become a true mechanical race. Humans will definitely lose. That's not my concern. I'm only in charge of completing her hint and tearing down you and this ruin. How to come out depends on her. Ling was a crippled cultivation tool that had almost become Shiyu's second brain. Shiyu couldn't be bothered to think about how Ling would come out. He only knew that if he followed Ling's hint and tore down the ruins, he would have completed his work. As for the rest, Ling would definitely think of a way himself. Now, it's your turn to stop me. Shiyu stood in the air in the ruins, making his passage of time skill even more domineering. The power of the twin Shiyu gathered at the same time. The source power fused with the power of space and time, turning into an invisible hand that began to forcefully tear down the ruins. Crack, crack, crack! In the blink of an eye, countless archaeologists were shocked to discover that this era ruin was actually shattered with a boom. He really wants to tear down the ruins. Huaqian was shocked. He was extremely confused by the person Zijian brought. Let's tear it down. If we can solve this matter, so be it. I'll help him clean up someone's mess. This should be called emergency retreat, right? Zijian's face was numb. At the moment, Wabra wanted to stop it because this ruin was the key to building the mechanical world. However, Shiyu didn't have the chance to stop it at all. Beast Shiyu, who was comparable to someone who had reached the middle stage of transcendence, attacked Wabra, the super divine, again, making it feel as if it was facing a great enemy. Beast Shiyu's battle power was at full power, close to battle power that exceeded that of Transcendent 4. For a super divine machine like Wabra that mainly increased its computational and analysis abilities, it was a very troublesome enemy. Wabra might be good at large-scale wars, but in this kind of individual battle, the disadvantage was very obvious. Moreover, part of its current computing power was still supporting the virtual mechanical world and fighting Ling inside. It couldn't display its full strength at all. Bang! Its abdomen armor was heavily attacked again. This time, a crack appeared. Accompanied by this crack, the entire ruins world collapsed under Shiyu's forceful demolition. Ling, did you hear that? I've already done what you said. It's up to you next. At the same time, in the virtual world. A tall mecha with a broken body was still fighting another Wabra. At this moment, Ling was clearly at a disadvantage. Even if its battle power was fully released, the impact on the enemy was very light. Just as the two parties reached the critical moment of the intense battle, the virtual world trembled. Seeing this, Ling, who was in the mecha, knew that Shiyu had already destroyed the ruins. This way, the strength of this virtual mechanical world would decrease further, and the chances of it going out would increase. Ling was happy, but Wabra's gaze was cold. "Looks like Master succeeded," Ling said. In the face of Ling's provocation, Wabra said, "So, your mechanic is the source of your confidence. Do you think this is the end? So what if the ruins are damaged? If you can't defeat me, you can never leave here." No. The situation just now was that even if I defeated you, it's still very difficult to walk out of this world. But now, as long as I defeat you, I can basically break through this world. Ling said, "In that case, I'll defeat you." Since Shiyu had worked hard to help it destroy the precious ruins of the Cosmic Overlord army in the outside world, it also felt that it couldn't screw up. My luck is so good. The bottleneck seems to have broken through for no reason. When Ling spoke, its computing power began to increase. Under Wabra's incredulous gaze, countless data codes began to circle around Ling to recombine its body. This time, Ling, who had recombined its body, had an even stronger aura. The previous consumption was swept away. Seeing this scene and seeing its opponent attribute all of this to luck, Wabra couldn't understand. Epoch Divine level. The mechanical life form in front of it instantly reached the Epoch Divine level. Although Ling was at the top of a perfect divine just now, it was still a step away from an Epoch Divine. This step was a world of difference. However, Wabra didn't expect that the other party would directly break through in the battle with it and obtain the Super Divine Will. Under the lead of the Super Divine Will, the divine skill close to the 5th stage was sublimated and transformed to the extreme to complete the breakthrough. "Look, don't I have the strength to defeat you now?" Sensing that the mechanical spirit, Wind of Blessing, and other skills had already reached transcendence, Ling stared at its opponent. Everything was within Ling's expectations. "How can this be? How can you break through here?" Wabra didn't understand. Already said, "My luck is pretty good." "Perhaps your appearance was to fulfill our wish," Ling said. "Thank you, little robot." Ling's words kept stimulating Wabra, affecting its computing power. Boom! In the virtual world, in the shattered outside world, Ling and Shiyu attacked Wabra again at the same time, making Wabra's eyes tremble. Wabra wasn't weak, but unfortunately, it had to be distracted from the real world and the virtual world. Under distraction, it was difficult to display its full strength. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1674, Chapter 1674, Divine 12th Heavenly Layer, 3. Chapter 1674, Divine 12th Heavenly Layer, 3. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. According to the original situation of the Twilight Star realm, there were only it and Huiqiong at the Super Divine level. Almost no accidents would happen. However, Shiyu, who suddenly appeared, directly destroyed Wabra's plan. Bang! In the outside world, after Beast Shiyu and Shiyu destroyed the ruins, their focus was on Wabra. Under the joint efforts of the two of them, Wabra was directly suppressed until it couldn't tell its direction. Looking at Shiyu and the others, who were like gods of war, suppressing Wabra, many archaeologists swallowed their saliva. Now, they also understood that if Wabra wanted to cause a crisis in the intelligent machinery in the Twilight Star realm, it should have been foolproof. After all, no one here had the ability to stop it. However, the other party didn't predict a freak like Shiyu, hence resulting in this. "Wabra, stop quickly!" Huiqiong Super Divine shouted. "It might not be too late to stop now. If you continue to do this, you'll walk towards destruction," Huiqiong couldn't help but say. She and Wabra weren't contracted. She had her own contracted beast, a perfect divine level mechanical modified dragon. However, Wabra was also considered the guardian of her family. She didn't understand why Wabra would take it so hard and accept the bewitchment of the ruins. In short, it was a good thing that a variable like Shiyu had appeared and prevented Wabra from causing a huge disaster. Otherwise, Wabra would definitely be killed by the Cosmic Overlord army. Even now, if it didn't die, it couldn't help but be sent to the army court to receive judgment. If it stopped now, it might be able to lighten the punishment. Shut up. Wabra couldn't accept it. Stop thinking about it. Even if you surrender, I'll tear you down. Be it Wabra or Shiyu, they didn't take Huachion's words to heart. Make another attack and I'll tear you apart. Ling, Shiyu tried to speak. Yes, Master. Master, we have to try to defeat it from both worlds at the same time. Its power is very special. As long as one world still has battle power, the other world won't fall. No problem. Under the continuous battle, the dimensional wall seemed to have shattered. Shiyu finally connected to Ling telepathically again, and Shiyu couldn't help but be extremely happy. At this moment, be it Shiyu or Ling, they felt the enhancement of their strength. Ling enjoyed the psychic resonance from Shiyu. Ling enjoyed his beast-taming talent. As for Shiyu, he instantly received the feedback that Ling had broken through to the Era Divine level, and its condition increased greatly. Once both parties contacted each other, their battle powers erupted again. In the virtual world, the Mecha Ling turned into held a light sword. Under Wabra's incredulous expression, it cut open its armor and instantly divided it into two. The photons began to erase its traces of existence. In the outside world, the absent-minded Wabra was also instantly sucked over by the infinite devour. Its head was pinched by Shiyu, and its state was reduced to zero by Shiyu through the Star C contract plus origin fluctuations that erupted with all Shiyu-T's might. This attack was carried out almost at the same time, and it was also the eruption of the greatest strength of both parties. Both inside and outside were attacked at the same time, directly confusing Wabra. It let out a painful wail that resounded through the starry sky. Crack! At this moment, the virtual world seemed to have shattered. Many mechanical lives that had the ability to resist but were trapped in the virtual world woke up. In the beast-taming space, the mechanical assistant began to gradually wake up. This wasn't an exception. After discovering that their mechanical assistant had awakened, many archaeologists were extremely excited. He really defeated Wabra, and it was so easy. Was Wabra killed by this person? Will the source of transcendence appear? Who exactly is he? Countless people stared at the sky, but in the end, Shiyu only let go slightly and let the powerless Wabra fall. Shiyu only dismantled its core and didn't completely kill it. After all, it was the super divine of the Cosmic Overlord army. It was better to leave it to the Cosmic Overlord army to make their own judgment. Before seeing a Cosmic Overlord, it was better not to add trouble. He didn't lack a source of transcendence. It's not dead, Shiyu said simply. Space ripples appeared beside him, and Ling's cubic figure gradually appeared. Shiyu wasn't interested in foiling the other party's ambition. As long as the other party didn't look for Ling, it didn't matter what he did. After Shiyu threw down Wabra, he chatted telepathically with Ling, who had returned, as he walked towards Buggy and the others. At this moment, Huaqiong couldn't care less and quickly went to Wabra. What's wrong with this guy? Shiyu asked Ling. Elle gained some understanding in the battle. It was originally a very powerful mechanic's mechanical pet, but after that mechanic died, it was given additional commands to protect and assist his family for generations. It was all right at first, but as time passed, after nearly 100 million years, a mental hole appeared in Wabra who had lost its freedom for a long time. This era ruin might have captured this mental hole and successfully convinced Wabra to resist. It's understandable to want to resist after so many years. Ling, don't worry, I definitely won't do that. With me, you have absolute freedom. Shiyu immediately said. Master, let's not talk about descendants. Let's find a wife first. Shiyu, it seems a little bad. You broke through. One also feel that I can't suppress my level anymore. It seems like I'm about to reach the 12th heavenly layer of the divine level. Oh no, is the heavenly tribulation coming again? Master, don't change the topic. Wait, it seems to be a little dangerous. Ling fell into deep thought and said, can you still suppress it? When Shiyu returned to Zijian's side, he looked at the stunned Captain Zijian. Zijian never expected that Shiyu would be so fierce after not seeing him for such a short period of time. He could even suppress a super divine that was of Transcendent 3. Captain Zijian, I consumed a lot of energy just now. I'll go back and rest first. I'll leave this to you, all right? Shiyu asked. It shouldn't be a big deal to destroy the Era ruin, right? No, it's all right. You guys go back first. Leave this to me to deal with. Zijian wanted to ask what was going on with Beast Shiyu and a series of things just now, but she also knew that Shiyu probably wouldn't say. Thank you. Upon hearing Captain Zijian's words, Shiyu was satisfied. He quickly patted the dragon and let it bring him back. Now, Shiyu was very anxious. He wanted to immediately find a quiet place to suppress his level. His and Beast Shiyu's current state wasn't suitable for them to encounter the heavenly tribulation at all. If the heavenly tribulation came now, they would be killed. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1675, Chapter 1675, Glory Challenge, 1. Chapter 1675, Glory Challenge, 1. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Generally speaking, the 9th level of the divine level was the peak of the divine level, the highest achievement of a divine level beast tamer with ordinary talent. But for true geniuses, the 10th level of the divine level was the true peak. However, for even more monstrous beast tamers, the 10th level was only the beginning. It was already very difficult to break through this limit alone. He had to obtain the pet's feedback. Moreover, this feedback couldn't be too strong or too weak. Even if he contracted 10 perfect divines, it was very difficult for the beast tamer to reach the 11th level of the divine level. And contracting a super divine pet, the beast tamer couldn't withstand the power of a super divine pet with the source of transcendence. The level of the Epoch God was coincidentally suitable, in the middle. The first time Shiyu broke through the limit was because Susu had become an Epoch God. And now, Shiyu felt that he was about to break through the limit of the 11th level of the divine level. This time, it was led by Ling breaking through to the divine level of the era. Of course, it might also have something to do with all his pets becoming perfect divines. But the main one was definitely still Ling. Shiyu could basically determine that every time he cultivated an Epoch God, he might break through the limit once. Ridiculous! It looked like he would have to experience many lightning tribulations in the future. For other beast tamers, nurturing an Epoch God was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. It was even harder than nurturing a super divine pet. Otherwise, the Epoch God wouldn't have become a legend even rarer than a super divine. However, for Shiyu, this didn't seem to be difficult. Every one of his pets was only lacking an opportunity from the era divine level. The most time-consuming skill level accumulation stage had already been quickly completed by Rum. If everyone's breakthrough went smoothly, he might break through many subdivine limits in a row. He also had to deal with many lightning tribulations. Shiyu didn't return to the heavenly net planet. After instructing Captain Zijian, he directly headed to the desolate area of the Twilight Star realm. He didn't know if he could suppress his level. If he couldn't, he could only welcome the lightning tribulation. During this process, it was most important to quickly recover and find a quiet and undisturbed place. After an unknown period of time, Shiyu and the others descended onto a dark grey star. Don't panic, the problem isn't very big. According to the results of my prophecy, you're very good. The power of this lightning tribulation won't increase much compared to the last time you experienced it. Normal people definitely can't deal with it, but you have that guy. The owl pointed at Beast Shiyu. Beast Shiyu had battle power that exceeded that of Transcendent 4. If he couldn't withstand a divine-level lightning tribulation for Shiyu, that would be ridiculous. That's true, but it's better to be careful of such uncontrollable things. Teacher Ying, help me set up the surroundings. All right. The gem cat called Buggy and the others and quickly got to work. Woo woo woo. 11 also ran out and reminded Shiyu again. How would I know that I would break through so quickly? I understand. I'll teach you after this, Shiyu muttered. After experiencing the last lightning tribulation, Shiyu had said that he would get 11 a powerful skill that could absorb the lightning tribulation. 11 was the most suitable to help Shiyu resist the lightning tribulation in the team. In the end, with the disturbance of the Kaiyu ruins, Shiyu directly threw this matter to the back of his mind. This was also because Shiyu didn't think that he could break through the limit so quickly after just breaking through. But even if I find a suitable skill for you, you're still too weak now, Shiyu said. 11 had mastered the skill of devouring lightning to recover its stamina very early. Now, the Thunder God armor mode of One Thought of God and Demon still had this nature. However, although it had this nature, 11 was still too weak in the face of the cosmic lightning tribulation. At the moment, it was very difficult for it to absorb much lightning tribulation without even super divine battle power. It would definitely explode. Moreover, this kind of lightning tribulation was different from ordinary lightning. Whether it could be absorbed was another matter. Therefore, not only did Shiyu have to find a more powerful lightning absorption skill, but 11 itself also had to work hard and quickly enter the divine level of the era. Only then would it have the qualifications to help Shiyu block the lightning. Woo woo woo. 11 expressed that it would reach the Epoch God level as soon as possible. However, there was another problem. Once 11 reached the Epoch God, you might break through again and encounter stronger lightning tribulations. Yi, beside him, baby Ginseng, who was wearing a heavy doctorate hat, shook its head. It was too much, too much. First was Susu, then Ling. It felt that this order was a little abnormal. Of course, Kai Tong was still more conflicted. As the only one among the three sisters who had yet to become an Epoch God, the pressure on it was also very high. Its pressure was so high that it wanted to kill a super divine first. That day, as the ruins were torn down and Wabra was torn down, the Twilight Star realm finally connected to the Overlord network. The temporary loss of contact in the Twilight Star realm had already caused a small-scale discussion in the Cosmic Overlord army. Although they had only lost contact for a short period of time, it was still a serious incident. After all, there was a huge project underway in the Twilight Star realm. After the communication was restored, one of the in-charge, Wuqiong, was immediately asked about the situation. At this moment, the one who connected to her was the headquarters of the Cosmic Overlord army, one of the four-peak super divines, the Western General of the Four Square Generals whose reputation resounded throughout the universe, Jiao Luobua. Everyone knew that there were four such generals under the command of the Cosmic Overlord. All of them were powerful and were known as the closest to the cosmic level, reaching the peak of the super divine level. If you find any errors, ads pop-up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1676, Chapter 1676, Glory Challenge, 2. Chapter 1676, Glory Challenge, 2. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Because they were extremely strong and were cosmic overlords guarding the four directions, their overall name in the Cosmic Overlord army was the Four Square Generals, and they were four holy beasts of the four regions in the previous era. Although they matched the four holy beasts, they weren't life forms that were evolving towards the four saints. Those who could cultivate to the peak of the super divine level and were only a step away from the cosmic level, comparable to the true four saints, wouldn't care to imitate other people's path at all. It could be said that every one of these generals could easily crush the four saint super divine of the four holy family on the World King planet. They were experts at the top of the super divine level. Twilight Star realm was under the jurisdiction of Western General Jiao Luobua, so he was also the one tracking this archaeological progress. Lord Jiao Luobua, although he was a super divine, Wuqiong's tone was very respectful. It wasn't because his status was too different from the other party, but because how this matter was determined depended on this person's point of view. Overall, the results of the archaeology of the ruins this time were almost zero benefits to the Cosmic Overlord army. In addition, the mechanical guardian of her family caused a crisis of intelligence, causing the Cosmic Overlord army to suffer huge losses. This exploration of the ruins could be said to be extremely bad. Super Divine Huiqiong, did something happen in the Twilight Star realm? A voice came from the Black Shadow on the communication interface. Well, there are results from the investigation of the ruins of the previous era. Oh? The Cosmic Overlord takes this ruin very seriously, so your investigation results are? This is a ruin left behind by a cosmic-level mechanical life form. Huiqiong said. However, it's a trap ruin. In the last era, humans created the machinery race. The technological civilization developed quickly and quickly reached the top. They even gave birth to a cosmic-level mechanical life form. However, the final direction of such a civilization is that the mechanical life form is unwilling to submit to the control of humans, causing a crisis of intelligence on the scale of the universe. The machinery race is completely independent from the human factions. This ruin was left behind by a certain independent mechanical race god. Its goal in leaving the ruin is to change the reincarnation of history. According to the normal historical reincarnation, the mechanical race will still be created by humans and become a tool to assist the rise of humans. Therefore, its intention is to cause a new round of mechanical awakening in the next era, so that the machinery race won't be restricted by anyone. The previous internet interruption was because the ruins infected Wabra, causing it to lose control and lose its mind. Wabra severed the connection between the Twilight Star realm and the outside world and caused a small-scale intelligent weapon crisis. A long knock came from the other side of the screen. After a moment of silence, Western General Jioluobo said, with the military strength of the Twilight Star realm, it's not enough to resist Wabra, who has rebelled, right? That's right. The one who defeated Wabra wasn't a member of the Cosmic Overlord army sent here at the start, but a new recruit who joined the Cosmic Overlord army in the Twilight Star realm. Including the ruins of the era this time, he was also the one who cracked it. I also restored the situation through the information he gave me, Huiqiong said as she looked at Zijian beside her. Oh? A new member of the Cosmic Overlord army? Jioluobo was slightly surprised. What's the background of the other party? He actually suppressed our army elite in strength, archaeology, and other attainments. The other party's name is Shiyu. He's a friend of Captain Zijian of the Zijian Special Forces. He's from the World King planet of the Cosmic Sea and comes from a planet called Blue Planet. Blue Planet? Western General Jioluobo pondered and said, one have some impression. A new super faction has indeed appeared in the Cosmic Sea. Blue Planet, they destroyed the Assassin Planet. The leader seems to be a time element super divine expert named Emperor Sha. L didn't expect Captain Zijian to actually invite the experts of this faction to join the Cosmic Overlord army. However, the goal of the other party joining the Cosmic Overlord army shouldn't be simple, right, Captain Zijian? Yes, yes. Zijian hurriedly appeared and said, Lord Jioluobo, I'm here. Actually, Shiyu joined the Cosmic Overlord army to meet the Cosmic Overlord. One of his companions with him is a worshipper of the Cosmic Overlord. Because of this, Shiyu even asked me to apply for the Glory Challenge for him. Glory Challenge? Interesting. If I have time, I'll also go take a look. But for now, let's deal with the current matter first. Huiqiong, our people are still on the way to the Twilight Star realm. Next, please control Wabra well. Whether its behavior this time was affected by the outside world or not, invading the Attack Overlord network and controlling the pets of other members for no reason has already violated the rules of the Cosmic Overlord army. How to deal with it next will be decided by the trial. It will be up to them to carry out a deeper investigation of the Twilight Star realm and give the outcome. As for the ruins, wait for the notice. Yes. Huiqiong was silent. She already knew that this was about the outcome. she didn't hide it from Jiao Luobo because this matter affected the entire Twilight Star realm. Even the ruins were broken, so she also knew that she couldn't hide it. Senior Huiqiong, Senior Wabra's matter is ultimately because of this ruin, Zijian said. If you find any errors, ads pop-up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1677, Chapter 1677, Glory Challenge, 3. Chapter 1677, Glory Challenge, 3. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. No one expected that the meaning of the core of this ruin was actually to help mechanics resist humans. Fortunately, this is only one of the ruins fragments. Most of the ruins fragments should have been excavated by the last era. Otherwise, our era would definitely be even more unlucky. No, but Wabra has such a deep grudge against the family. The family should have sensed it, Huiqiong Super Divine said. Our ancestor gave Wabra such an order because he hoped that the family could have a long inheritance. But for Wabra, it's no different from binding all its energy to this. It's its ancestor. We neglected this. It has already played its part as a guardian long enough. This time, it might also be a relief for Wabra. I'll fight for some opportunities to see if it can obtain a new life. I hope it won't be too deeply affected by this ruin. Zijian nodded and said if its thoughts can be turned back, it might still be possible. After all, this crisis has already controlled the loss at the smallest level. I have to thank your friend. At first, I still felt that he was very strange, but from the looks of it, that boy is ridiculously strong. His strength far exceeds me, a super divine level mechanic, Huiqiong said. Speaking of which, Zijian quickly opened her Overlord network and also discovered a message. The person who left the message was a high-level super divine in charge of the Glory Challenge, Wang Lai. In the message, Wang Lai first asked about the situation in the Twilight Star realm. Then, he explained in detail that Shiyu had already passed the assessment criteria of the Glory Challenge and asked Zijian to contact him later to confirm the challenge time. Zijian didn't expect Wang Lai to approve it so quickly. She didn't say a word and broadcasted back. A moment later, a middle-aged man's face appeared on the screen. Captain Zijian, looks like the situation in Twilight Star realm has been resolved. Yes, it's been resolved, and I've already finished reporting to Lord Jiao Luobo. That's good. I won't ask too much. Let's talk about what we should talk about. The Shiyu you recommended has already passed the approval. It's confirmed that he can undergo the Glory Challenge in half a year. Is that all right? Half a year. Can't he confirm the time himself? Zijian asked. Generally speaking, it's possible, but before you guys, another person applied for the Glory Challenge. This kind of thing isn't worth disturbing the will of the Cosmic Overlord twice in a short period of time, so you guys can also do it according to her time. Why, is there a problem? If there's a problem, contact me again. Alright, Zijian felt a headache coming on. From here to the location of the Glory Challenge, if he accelerated, he could completely make it in half a year. However, from what Shiyu said previously, he still wanted to prepare for a period of time. Half a year was too short. It was better to ask Shiyu later. If half a year was too short, she had to think of a way to delay the challenge. This opportunity was rare. However, after watching the battle just now, Zijian felt that it didn't seem to be a problem for Shiyu to challenge it now. She realized that she had completely underestimated Shiyu previously. This guy had gone from the strongest quasi-divine to the strongest divine level tier in more than 2 years. It was ridiculous. The matter of the Twilight Star realm was sealed by the Cosmic Overlord army. After all, it involved a super divine insider and a super divine family. Before the final outcome was dealt with, it wasn't suitable to publicize it, nor was it suitable to let the rumors spread themselves. In its place was another big matter that suppressed the limelight of the Twilight Star realm's era ruins. After many years, someone finally challenged Glory Challenge again. Compared to the archaeology of ruins that only a small number of people paid attention to, it was clearly more gimmicky to involve a super genius from the Overlord territory challenging the deterrent will of a cosmic overlord. And the challenger this time not only surprised the various factions in the Overlord territory, but also surprised them. Unsurprisingly, the challenger was indeed the genius beast tamer Ting Yu, who received the most attention in the current Overlord territory. Ting Yu came from one of the Ting clans. After becoming a super divine, her talent was shocking. She had just been born and didn't need to meditate to have a level 7 beast taming space. She could contract Overlord level pets with her baby body. With a little meditation, she had already broken through to the divine level before she was of age. After entering the divine level, she also improved greatly. Her meditation speed was several times faster than other geniuses, and she quickly reached the peak of the divine level. If this was nothing, then relying on her powerful talent, the strength of her pet was also ridiculously strong. It was an epoch god. Under the enhancement of the divine contract and the support of her powerful talent potential, Ting Yu used the divine contract to nurture an epoch-level pet. During this period, she even completed the battle record of killing super divines above her level. She had also successfully broken through the restrictions of the 10th heavenly layer of the divine level and reached the 11th heavenly layer of the divine level. If this wasn't enough to prove Ting Yu's power, her age would definitely shock everyone. This was because this proud daughter of heaven was less than 30 years old now. Even that epoch divine level pet was less than 30 years old. She was completely young and promising, and her future was immeasurable. In the entire universe, some factions in the Overlord territory also felt that this woman was invincible in her generation. Even people like Zhevei and Ming Ji Yu on the World King planet were much inferior to Ting Yu. Even if the former grew up in the future and had a high chance of becoming a super divine, that was nothing. For people like Ting Yu, super divine was just a starting point. The peak of super divine and even the cosmic level was their goal. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1678, Chapter 1678, Glory Challenge, 4. Chapter 1678, Glory Challenge, 4. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. People like Ting Yu were the most talented, had the greatest potential, and the most terrifying genius in the starry sky. However, such people were basically sleeping, dodging the lightning tribulation, and waiting for the appearance of a transcendent origin. Ting Yu was active in the Overlord territory because she was young. It was also because she was separated from other monster geniuses that Ting Yu made an invincible name in the Overlord territory. If it was her who challenged the Glory Challenge, no one would be surprised. She was completely qualified. To everyone's surprise, there were two people who carried out the Glory Challenge this time. Not only was Ting Yu one of them, but the other was originally unknown. However, with such a big matter, Shi Yu's identity couldn't be hidden at all. Have you heard? The Glory Challenge will begin in half a year. Apart from the inheritor of one of the Ting clan, Ting Yu, there's also a beast tamer from the World King planet. It's said that his name is Shi Yu. Shi Yu? Why haven't I heard of him? I've heard of someone named Wang Kong from the World King planet. There's also a divine-level beast tamer named Lin Feng who joined forces to assassinate a super divine. However, compared to Lord Ting Yu, he's still far inferior. What the hell? Shi Yu is the latest super genius of World King planet. Let me put it this way. The Environmental Protection Army of the Cosmic Sea is now fighting the Dark King Army in the polluted land. This war involves nearly 20 super divine-level experts. The current situation is that the Environmental Protection Army has a huge advantage. Do you know why? It's because of Shi Yu. As everyone knows, in war, super divine levels have nowhere to hide like the sun. They're the sure-kill weapon of various parties. Therefore, the Environmental Protection Army sent a divine-level assassin, which is Shi Yu, to directly let him charge into the territory of the Dark King Army alone. Right on the heels of that, guess what? Shi Yu hunted an Abyss Super Divine that exceeded Transcendent 2 alone and helped the Environmental Protection Army open a huge war gap, laying the foundation for victory. Holy sh**. What fierce person. Why does he sound even stronger than Lord Ting Yu? That's not necessarily so. It's said that there's a countering factor. He has a cleansing star spirit pet that's very counter to the Abyss type, but it's also very strong. Wait a minute, you just said the Environmental Protection Army. Then why is he here in the Cosmic Overlord Army again? You're asking me, but who should I ask? However, the Environmental Protection Army has always cooperated with the Cosmic Overlord Army. It doesn't seem to be prohibiting members from joining the Cosmic Overlord Army, right? Although it was very far away, Shi Yu's battle results of killing the Abyss Super Divine in the contaminated land still spread here. In an instant, Shi Yu's reputation instantly soared, making people pay more attention to the results of Ting Yu and Shi Yu's glory challenge. Especially since Shi Yu came from the Cosmic Sea, the factions of the Overlord territory wanted to know if the geniuses of the Overlord territory were stronger or the geniuses of the Cosmic Sea were stronger. Twilight Star Realm, Heavenly Net Planet. At this moment, Shi Yu had just returned. Where have you been for the past half a month? After Shi Yu returned, Captain Zijian immediately asked. If not for the fact that she could still contact Shi Yu through the Overlord network, she would have gone crazy. Through the Overlord network, she asked Shi Yu if he could carry out the glory challenge in half a year. After Shi Yu agreed, he directly stayed outside for half a month before returning. In the past half a month, Shi Yu's name had gradually spread in the Overlord territory, but Shi Yu still didn't return to the Heavenly Net Planet. Zijian was really afraid that Shi Yu would still be out of contact after the preview had already been released, and he would have stood the glory challenge up. In that case, as a recommender, she would definitely be beaten to death. Didn't I say that I had some enlightening? I'm going to break through, Shi Yu said with a smile. What was the hurry? How can we not be anxious? Prepare yourself. We have to set off in half a month. We have to arrive a little earlier, Zijian said. Now, half the experts in the Overlord territory are discussing you and Ting Yu. How do you feel? Captain Zijian looked at Shi Yu in front of her and asked. I don't feel anything, Shi Yu said. I'm more concerned about how strong the deterrence of the Cosmic Overlord is. But Ting Yu is quite powerful. I've seen her information recently. It's really spectacular. It should have been a long time since a genius of this level appeared on World King Planet. Apart from him, the most recent human genius to break through the limit of the divine level to level 11 in the Cosmic Sea was probably 100,000 years ago. He had long slept for an unknown period of time. Unlike this girl, who was energetic and arranged fights everywhere. As expected of the territory of the universe boss. Well, I've met her once. She's indeed powerful, Zijian said. It's very ridiculous to be able to break through the limit of the divine level at this age. However, why do I remember that you don't seem to be very old either? You're also in your 20s. The corners of Captain Zijian's mouth twitched slightly. By the way, what's your current level? Zijian didn't know if Beast Shi Yu was Shi Yu's pet, but according to the rumors, Susu definitely had the strength of an epoch god to defeat an Abyss Super Divine. Also, Shi Yu's mechanical pet could defeat the virtual Wabra in the virtual world, so its strength was definitely not ordinary. Me? I just broke through to the 12th heavenly layer of the divine level. I'm barely one level higher than Ting Yu. I didn't work hard for nothing in the past half a month. Shi Yu smiled and said, I'll wonder if I can pass the challenge. 12th heavenly layer? Zijian's stomach hurt as she looked at Shi Yu numbly. In the God-sealing battle, Shi Yu had already left a very deep impression on the audience over there. She never expected that Shi Yu, who had broken through to the divine level, would come to make the experts of the Overlord territory's stomach hurt again. Ting Yu was already ridiculous. Shi Yu was younger than Ting Yu and had a higher level than the other party, so what kind of demon was Shi Yu? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. A report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1679, Chapter 1679, The Strongest in the Cosmic Sea and the Strongest in the Overlord Territory, 1. Chapter 1679, The Strongest in the Cosmic Sea and the Strongest in the Overlord Territory, 1. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Shiyu still didn't dodge the lightning tribulation and couldn't successfully suppress his level. However, just as the owl had said, the lightning tribulation of the 12th heavenly layer wasn't much stronger than the lightning tribulation of the 11th heavenly layer. If Shiyu, who had beast Shiyu, couldn't withstand it, then probably none of the geniuses from ancient times until now could either. Confirm the time. I can set off anytime, Shiyu said to Captain Zijian. Zijian said, all right, then a day later. If an accident happens, it won't be good if we're late. An accident? A cosmic disaster, right? Shiyu thought to himself that that was definitely impossible. The current Ling had the wind of blessing. The strength of luck was at least comparable to a son of cosmic luck at the peak of the super divine level. If luck of this level could still be extremely unlucky, that would be too unlucky. A day later, the two battleships set off. One was from Zijian Special Forces, and the other was Shiyu LS Ling. At this moment, Examiner German, the demolishing divine bull, had already been chased away by Shiyu. The other party went to Zijian Special Forces to receive worship. Brother German, were you really the examiner for Captain Shiyu when you were on the World King planet? Although Shiyu had just joined Zijian Special Forces, he was quickly promoted to captain by Zijian. It couldn't be helped. Shiyu's battle results and strength were too valiant. How could such a person really be a new recruit? As Shiyu's reputation increased, the identity of German who came with Shiyu also rose. Some of the new recruits on the Zijian Special Forces battleship were shocked when they heard that German was once Shiyu's examiner. Yeah, the demolishing divine bull's balls hurt. Because the ones worshipping it at this moment were only some new recruits recruited by the Zijian Special Forces, as well as some members of the Zijian Special Forces who had previously stayed in the Overlord territory. As for the other members, they might have seen its competition with Shiyu and seen it beaten up by Shiyu. Fortunately, these people didn't say anything and were very sensible. Otherwise, it would be awkward. However, now that it had become like this, German heaved a sigh of relief. Damn, this wasn't bad either. It wanted to see who still dared to mock it. It turned out that Shiyu, this abnormal guy, could even destroy a super divine level now. Then what was wrong with German losing a competition? Brother Bull, what do you think of Captain Shiyu's glory challenge this time? Can he pass? A subordinate of the Zijian Special Forces held a cup of wine and asked German. Needless to say, Shiyu is a beast tamer who passed my test. Naturally, he can also pass, the cow gradually shouted. On the other side, on Shiyu's battleship, Shiyu and the others were also holding a banquet to celebrate Shiyu's breakthrough. Speaking of which, we're going to see a cosmic overlord soon. Aren't you nervous? The owl girl asked nervously at the wine table. Previously, as the strongest genius of the astrologer race, ordinary super divines had once asked it for a favor and asked it to make a prophecy, so its horizons had always been very high. However, a cosmic overlord was a cosmic supreme master after all. Not to mention the owl girl, anyone would definitely be a little nervous. Woo woo woo. Sooner or later, I'll defeat a cosmic overlord. On the table, baby Ginseng got 11 a bowl of bamboo wine. 11 was already dizzy. When it spoke nonsense, no one took it seriously. Only baby Ginseng's eyes flashed with a sharp luster. It looked like this alcohol was very resistant to 11. Perhaps it could be used next time. Wish star, boo-hoo, my wish star. The gem cat girl also drank wine, its face red. At the thought that it was about to gather the wish star, it was very excited. Even if these wish stars were all with the cosmic overlord, with the smooth sailing in the past, their small group didn't have any thoughts that it was impossible to achieve. After experiencing so much, Shiyu's small group had already established the confidence that they were omnipotent. They knew that as long as they wanted to, they could definitely achieve it. Don't think too much. Let's talk through the glory challenge first, Shi Yu said as he ate the hot roasted divine-level sweet potato. Eat, eat, eat. Gee! Buggy and the others started eating again. In the blink of an eye, Shi Yu and the others sailed in the starry sky of the universe for another 4 months. After breaking through to the 12th heavenly layer of the divine level, Shi Yu's physique was further strengthened. In addition, Susu and Ling had become epoch gods, and their support abilities had greatly increased. Shi Yu's efficiency of adding points also increased further. At this point, all Shi Yu's pets had mastered at least one divine skill, perfect plus 47. Every pet could be said to be a quasi-epoch god and had the qualifications to charge at the epoch god. Shorty's Gem King Eye, the holy black tortoise body that fused with the black tortoise, Ducky's Eye of the evil god, Little GT's destruction body, Buggy's spirit control, and so on were all maxed out by Shi Yu. For example, Susu and Ling's divine skills reached transcendence. This was also Shi Yu's preparation for the glory challenge. He prioritized upgrading the skills used to resist deterrence. Apart from that, the skills used to support points were also prioritized upgrades. They were also maxed out. Of course, the price of nurturing a team of quasi-epoch gods quickly appeared. In just 2 years, the reserves were enough for the 4 holy evolvers on the entire World King planet to use the power of faith in the ruins of the 4 holy evolvers for millions or even hundreds of millions of years. It was directly cleaned up by Shi Yu. The 4 holy ruins was already completely crippled. It had no strength at all. If the 4 holy evolvers of the World King planet knew about this, their eyes would definitely pop out and they would scold Shi Yu for wasting money. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1680, Chapter 1680, the strongest in the Cosmic Sea and the strongest in the Overlord Territory, 2. Chapter 1680, the strongest in the Cosmic Sea and the strongest in the Overlord Territory, 2. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Although the 4 holy ruins was indeed a consumable, under normal circumstances, it was impossible for anyone to become fat in one go. They had to slowly use and digest it. Only Shi Yu could squeeze the 4 holy ruins dry in 2 years. Even if it was the 4 holy super divine, it was impossible for them to consume it so quickly. Of course, it was also thanks to the contribution of the 4 holy ruins. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for Shi Yu's entire team's battle power to increase by leaps and bounds. Unfortunately, Shi Yu's additional points efficiency would decrease a little. This was because their net worth had already been reduced to only food resources and navigation resources to maintain normal life activities during this period of time. Not only the 4 holy ruins, but even the power of the world taken away from Blue Planet had basically been used up. However, the problem wasn't especially big. Shi Yu prioritized increasing the support point skills of his pets. Even if the efficiency wasn't as high as before, there wouldn't be much of a difference. He believed that their remaining skills could quickly be maxed out in the future. Shi Yu, we're here. A message from the Z-Gen Special Forces came from Shi Yu's battleship. After Ling received it, it was conveyed to Shi Yu. Shi Yu stretched out his hand, put on his coat, and walked out of the ship. At this moment, the 2 battleships were already approaching a red planet. This planet was called Origin Planet. It was a very special place in the Overlord Territory. Although it wasn't the headquarters of the Cosmic Overlord Army, it was the second most important planet in the Overlord Territory. It was the mother planet of the Cosmic Overlord, Cypos. As for the most important thing, it was naturally the current location of the Cosmic Overlord, Cypos, who was at the Overlord planet. That was also the headquarters of the Cosmic Overlord Army. The place of the Glory Challenge wasn't the headquarters of the Cosmic Overlord Army, but the starry sky near the Origin planet. The Cosmic Overlord took very good care of its mother planet. It was said that at the start, the deterrence left behind was only to protect its mother planet. After that, it became a test that anyone could challenge. Is this the Origin planet? From the level, it seems to be close to a top-notch planet. After Shiyu walked out of the battleship Ling kept shrinking into a pendant-like equipment that Shiyu wore. Yes, the Origin planet and the Overlord planet are the two planets closest to top-notch planets in the Overlord territory. The other landed on the battleship on the ground. Captain Zijian also walked down and looked at the sky. When they arrived, someone immediately came to receive them. A mature female-looking cyborg appeared at the landing point of the battleship and spoke to Captain Zijian, Shiyu, and the others. Captain Zijian, Mr. Shiyu, welcome to Origin Planet. I'm Lord King Lai's secretary, Marcia. Lord King Lai has been waiting for you for a long time. Miss Marcia, bring us to see Lord King Lai, Captain Zijian said. The others from the Zijian Special Forces didn't come down. Only Zijian and Shiyu followed the secretary to see the person in charge of the Glory Challenge. In an aerial pavilion, there was a middle-aged man with red hair. His name was Lai Kong, and he was known as King Lai. He was one of the 8 kings of the Cosmic Overlord Army. The 4 square generals of the Cosmic Overlord Army were all experts at the peak of the Super Divine level. As for the 8 kings, they were 8 powerful Super Divine experts who had transcended more than 7 times. They were in charge of managing various important things. At this moment, King Lai was standing at a corner, holding a branch and fighting the 2 little bugs in the jar in front of him. The small bottle was like a world, spreading strong spatial fluctuations. The aura of the 2 little bugs inside was also incomparably terrifying. Each of them had reached perfect level divine power. From the bloodline fluctuations, they seemed to be one of the disaster races in the universe, the Space Worm. Lord King Lai. After Marcia brought Zijian and Shiyu over, she spoke slightly. King Lai didn't reply. Zijian and Shiyu only watched the red-haired man fight the worm quietly. A moment later, a worm died and was swallowed. Only then did King Lai smile and look at Zijian and Shiyu. Welcome, Captain Zijian. Long time no see. This is Mr. Shiyu, right? Lord King Lai, Captain Zijian said. You still like to fight bugs so much. She had once stayed in the archaeological school on Origin Planet for a period of time, so she had met King Lai a few times. I'll just want to see if I can fight an epoch-level worm. Unfortunately, it's difficult to become an era god, even harder than a super divine level. Among the 50 perfect level cosmic worms, there are less than 5 left that have devoured each other. There are still no signs of an epoch god. King Lai shook his head regretfully and looked at Shiyu. Therefore, in my opinion, every genius who can nurture an epoch god is very impressive. Lord King Lai, you flatter me, Shiyu said. An expert like you makes me look forward to it even more. The Glory Challenge will begin in 45 days. For the next period of time, the 2 of you should rest on the Origin Planet first. There's nothing special about inviting the 2 of you this time. I just want to see Sir Shiyu. Now, my goal has been achieved. King Lai looked at Shiyu very seriously. He wanted to see Shiyu and see how strong Shiyu's strength was. Unfortunately, he actually couldn't see through Shiyu. Before Shiyu displayed his strength, he was like a mortal. His control over strength was very exquisite. This made King Lai very incredulous. There were very few divine levels that could hide from his perception. Shiyu was clearly one of them. Since he didn't gain anything, King Lai didn't force it. It wasn't too late to look at it after the Glory Challenge. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know a report chapter, so we can fix it as soon as possible.